All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, doing relatively harmless things in real time for a few real people out here, just like you and just like me. So I'm reading this article, Mike Campbell, on not being able to save Tom Petty. I did all I could do. All right. And of course, this goes out to all of your favorite classic rock radio station websites who aren't playing the new song by the Doobie Brothers and they're not playing a whole bunch of music that they could be playing. Uh, for that kind of stuff, check out Modern Retro Radio and my buddy Audi, who's over there programming all of this music that you won't hear anywhere else. ModernRetroRadio.com. Free plug because it's a great radio station, and they're doing what the mainstream just refuses to even attempt to do. Anyway, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers guitarist Mike Campbell is set to release a new memoir, Heartbreaker, on March the 18th, so coming up soon. In a new interview, he opens up about his relationship with Tom Petty and discusses the rocker's 2017 death. If you recall, Tom Petty died of an accidental drug overdose. He had been self-medicating to deal with pain he was suffering from hip problems. Campbell says he never confronted. Now this is where this thing kind of goes sideways for me. Campbell says he never confronted Petty about his drug use because that wasn't the type of relationship they had. So, if you had a really good relationship with someone and they were destroying their life, this is the new thing the last 20 or so years. And that's how you get this expression. You do you, I'll do me, and we'll just coexist on the same plane. And, if our paths cross and I see that there are worms coming out of your eyes, I'm just going to say, hey, nice worms you got there coming out of your eyes. Those look really cool. Um, I know it was a tortured example, and I'm sorry for the imagery, but yeah, I've noticed that you've been bleeding profusely for the last few days, and I was just wondering, is everything okay, Tom? Um, Campbell says this with Tom, it was like your private life is yours and mine is mine. I can see what you're doing. Campbell says, I could see what you're doing, but out of respect for you, what? Out of respect for you, I'm not going to say anything to you about the fact that you're getting close to overdosing on drugs. I'm not going to say anything out of respect. I'll trust you'll do the right thing. If you need me, call me. Now, that last part sounds good, but again, it's kind of like when I talk about faith, and there is no other solution to this death thing, right? There's no other solution other than, well, you die and that's it. So good luck with that. I'd tell you about Jesus, but I'll trust you'll do the right thing. I can see that your life is a mess, and out of respect for you, I'm not going to say anything to you. If you need me, call me, right? Now, you can do that maybe some of the time. Maybe you can plant a seed first. But if things keep going downhill, do you just ignore it? So this is the Mike Campbell philosophy. He says he doesn't think confronting Petty would have done anything anyway, explaining the thing with Tom was you could say, hey, you need to maybe not do what you're doing. And he'll say, well, I'm Tom Petty. I'm going to do whatever the bleep I want to do. So get out of my face. So, yeah, maybe he just didn't want to confront Petty because, and there are a lot of people like this, where you try to confront them or you think about confronting them and they're just too irrational and set in their ways. But at some point, hey, if I had tried a little more to help Tom Petty, maybe Tom Petty would still be here. Mike Campbell says he doesn't torture himself over what he could have possibly done to save Petty. Well, you didn't do that much, according to this article. I'm not trying to throw Mike Campbell under the bus because maybe the underlying thing here might be that he and Petty weren't all that close. He says, my conscience is clear because Tom knew that I knew, and Tom knew that I wasn't forcing him and getting in his face about it. But don't people come back later and thank you for confronting them if the result is, hey, I think I might have saved your life, and you don't say it that way to be prideful. You just say, hey, you're here now. This was it's like surgery. It's like taking out cancer. It's like heart surgery. Hey, I didn't want to tell you about you needing to get heart surgery. Imagine a doctor doing that. It looks like you need to get open heart surgery or whatever. They have all kinds of new procedures now. I was going to tell you about this, but I knew you'd be upset and I knew you'd be difficult to confront. So I decided not to do that. I mean, it's the same thing here. And look, Campbell's probably right that Tom Petty would have still died in 2017. Probably. It depends. I don't know. But it's weird. Toward the end of this article, get this. So I forgot about this. So Howie Epstein, who used to be a heartbreaker, he's not anymore because he died of a drug overdose in 2003. That was a year after he was kicked out of the band for substance abuse issues. All right. Now, you could turn this around and say, well, because they kicked him out, he did even more drugs. Now, they didn't try to do an intervention. They didn't say, hey, Howie, you need to get help. We want you to still be in the band. It's weird how some people manage to hit that wall and get the help they need, but they have to have a motivation. Look at Joe Walsh, right? Joe Walsh, who needed to get help, and his old buddy Don Felder, who was kicked to the curb later on because Don wanted an equal share of the earnings. How dare he want a fair shake and so forth. Maybe he didn't deserve an equal shake, but there was a contract back in the 70s, right? And I guess, Don Henley, I don't want to go down that rabbit trail, but you know the story. So Campbell says of his late bandmates, I miss them, but I did all I could. You didn't, though. You're telling us you didn't confront. Based on this new ethos of, well, you do you. I know what you're doing is bad. You know what you're doing is bad. So we'll both just ignore it. We're both going to go over the cliff. You go first. I'll go later. If I fall into the same trap that you fell into, maybe someone will confront me, but I hope they don't because that's going to be too painful. And I'm Mike Campbell, so get the bleep out of my face. It doesn't seem to work, does it? And it's weird because they kicked a guy out of the band for doing what Tom Petty was doing. And obviously that didn't help. It didn't work on two levels because, number one, he overdosed. And number two, obviously, he didn't confront his problem. So I don't know. I'm reading this and it's just like a whole bunch of hopelessness. Like, yeah, I did what I could do to help Tom, but he was going to do it anyway. So, yeah, we're all basically going to go over the cliff at the same time. There's no hope. This is why when people confront me about my faith, I say, well, what other hope is there? If I'm not telling you about Jesus Christ, then I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. In this case, it's, hey, Tom, you need to get help. And because we want you around. You're a legend. You're a great songwriter. You're a rock and roll Hall of Famer. And this music means a lot to people, and it would be cool to have you around for a little while longer. But that didn't obviously work out. So, yeah, Tom Petty definitely missed. And Mike Campbell says he did all he could do. And this is a really weird article and that leaves me feeling kind of empty about humanity. But that happens on almost a daily basis when you look at how people are organized, what they think about when it comes to important matters, where they just keep kicking that can down the road. They keep ignoring all of these signposts, and they just go, well, I don't want to confront so and so, so we'll just not worry about it, and maybe it'll go away. That dashboard light thing that keeps going off. Maybe if I put some tape over it, I can't see it anymore. All right. Anyway, sorry to get all religious and philosophical and whatever this is, but this article kind of struck me in a strange way. And as I conclude here, I'm going to ponder my own existence. And hopefully, if I'm doing something to the degree that, which I don't, thankfully, but, everyone has habits and everyone has maybe things that they need to fix in their lives. And hopefully, you've got people around you who love you, who are loving enough to tell you the truth about something. Hence, sharing the gospel message is about love. It's not about hate. It's about telling you that there is a better way. And at the end of your life, you could die with millions of dollars in the bank. I'm sure Tom Petty had a lot of money when he passed away. It didn't help him at the end. And I guess having stuff is better than not having stuff. But if you're looking at your life in the light of eternity, it's just foolishness. It's empty. So, all right, that's it. Done. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell if you want notifications. Smash the bell, as people like to say these days. Smash the bell. And there's Patreon. There's YouTube memberships. There's Buy Me a Coffee. There's the world famous PJ Rock Super Chats. PJ actually sent me one yesterday. He is financing the channel, so I appreciate him and Darby and all these people that come along beside me to just keep this going. Because as you could see, I am not raking in the views or the subscribers. So I appreciate those people who continue to watch and support the Harmless Dave channel. So God bless you all. And remember, Jesus is the way.